to focus on the death penalty amendments bill that was up for the state of Utah. SB 189 was the bill for death penalty amendments. It was heard in 2016. The focus of this bill was to abolish the death penalty in Utah. The Speaker, Senator Urquhart, discussed multiple negatives to the death penalty. He included discussion about the cost of the death penalty, the attention it brought to criminals and how it can almost make them famous by being on death row, the prolonged suffering of families because of how long criminals can be on death row once they're sentenced, and judicial imperfection because people have been wrongfully accused and you can't take back a death penalty conviction once they're put to death. However, in the council meeting, he did not discuss any of the racial implications of the death penalty. There are a lot of racial implications in the prison system as a whole. There's ongoing racial inequality because there is an over-distribution of minorities within the prison population. African Americans make up 33% of the prison population, but only 12% of the United States population. To contrast to that, whites make up 64% of the United States population, but only 30% of the prison population. There's also a lot of racial bias in sentencing. One study found that the race of the defendant does have an effect on sentencing. In this study, they quoted, specifically, the regression results consistently indicate that juries are more than 4 times as likely to impose a death sentences in cases involving black defendants. This shows that the racial issues with the death penalty are more than just the racial issues in the criminal justice system as a whole. There are also a lot of issues with ineffective counsel being provided in death penalty cases. Brian Stevenson, who's a notable lawyer and the executive director of the Equal Justice Initiative, writes, serious problems plague the administration of the death penalty in the United States. The inability of the poor to receive adequate legal representation is the core problem surrounding capital punishment. There are many different issues with the free counsel that is provided to those who cannot afford to hire a lawyer. The standards are very low for appointed lawyers. There's also little to no verification of the credentials of the lawyers. Many attorneys file documents late or in the wrong court. It's also very difficult for defendants to prove they received ineffective assistance of counsel. In 1 of every 10 trials resulting in a death sentence, the defendant was represented by a lawyer who was later lose his license. This creates a system where those who have less income are not given the same quality of defense as others. This chart from the United States Census Bureau shows the median household income by race. You can see here the second line from the top, the blue one, shows the 2016 white median household income, which was $65,041. In contrast, the lowest line on the chart shows the 2016 black median household income of $39,490. This difference in incomes between those who are white and those who are black shows how providing ineffective free counsel can negatively affect those who are not white in death penalty cases. Senate Bill 189 did not pass, but it did allow us to have further discussion on whether or not the death penalty should exist in 2018, both in Utah and in the United States as a whole. In the council meetings for this bill, they did not discuss the racial implications. However, there are certainly important racial issues that need to be discussed. First of all, minorities are drastically overrepresented in the prison system. Second, black death row defendants are more likely to be convicted than whites. Third, systematic inequality exists in regards to access to effective counsel. Black Americans have the lowest median income, which can potentially restrict their access to quality lawyers in death row cases. If a similar bill is presented in the state of Utah in the future, hopefully the racial issues involved with the death penalty will be a topic of discussion. Thank you.